Welcome y'all back to my second podcast. I haven't even came up with the name for it yet. Out here in Brickell. Out here in Brickell, Miami. Like to switch it up. Sometimes I like to be in the condo. Sometimes I like to be at the house. Get this damn cigar lit. But I like to just have these, trying to do these podcast styles, more laid back, me just really kicking shit and just really kicking game. Just really chopping up with you, man. I haven't been posting on YouTube, like I said, so trying to do more content, man. We're in a content era. That's where we're at right now. It doesn't matter who you are in life. At this point, you gotta do content. You gotta do content, right? So that's what I'm doing right now. If you follow me on Instagram at KE on the track, you should. But building a personal brand, that's one of the most powerful things that you could ever have. And even as an artist, really think about that, because a lot of artists, they try to hide behind, their music. But the truth is, you're gonna get beat by somebody who doesn't even have the talent that you have. But because they're posting consistently and they're posting the right things, people are gonna go with that. Life right now, 2025, as I'm shooting this, with AI, with automation, with all this shit out right now, the most valuable thing that you could be is a human. So people are seeking human connections, even when it comes to music. Notice how people are starting to seek real music, right? Like they just want real connections. So that's where we're at with it right now. The most valuable thing that you could be in life is just a human. People are tired of all the fake shit. You know what I'm saying? So back to the point, you gotta post content now. Content is king. If you don't post, you become a ghost. One thing I want to talk about, I had a student in my program, and he was telling me that he doesn't have any support from the person that he's dating when it comes to his music career, right? So he was telling me like, I'm dating this girl. I really like her. Actually, he said he loves her, but she doesn't really support him. It's not like she trashes his music. It's not like she's actively kind of like telling him to stop. She just doesn't support it. And I'm gonna tell you this. This goes to any artist. It doesn't matter if you do music. It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur. If you're claiming that you're in love with somebody or you're sleeping with somebody that does not even support your goals and your dreams or your business, to me, that's a sign of low self-esteem and low self-worth. If you're fucking somebody or claiming that you love somebody and they're not even posting your business on their Instagram, they're not posting your product or they're not posting your music, they're not sharing it with anybody, then I'm questioning your self-esteem. I'm questioning your self-love. I could never just be around anybody. I'm talking about friends, family, girlfriend. I could never be around anybody that doesn't literally support the one thing that I love the most, which is my music career or whatever business that I'm doing. So I don't know how anybody could just be with somebody who doesn't support them. Right? If somebody doesn't support your goals, dreams, and desires, and you still decide to lay with them, you still decide to actually be with them, you still decide to claim love with them, there's a problem. You got a problem. There's a problem with you mentally. That's almost insane. Right? You niggas be tripping. I was like, you love somebody that doesn't support your first love, which is your music? She's not even posting it. She's not even supporting it. She ain't even trying to hustle with you and finding out more information and trying to build with you. Then what the fuck is she doing in your life? The females too, man. You should not have anybody in your life that's not supporting your goals and your dreams. they're not even doing any type of contribution, then what the fuck is the point of them? Right? Y'all are not on the same page. You have low self-esteem. You have an inner problem. You need to have an inner dialogue with yourself and saying, why am I with this person? Why is my love so cheap? Why do I disrespect my freedom in a way of aligning myself with somebody that doesn't even support me, that clearly they don't want to see me win, because if they did, they would uplift me and contribute. So now the question is, what are they taking away? And what are you receiving? We got to stop settling for less. Settling for less ends up manifesting in any other way of your life. If you do that as your artist, then you'll end up getting a fucked up record deal and settling for it. Right? Settling for managers that you know are, I've seen this a lot. You know how many platinum artists that I've met that just have low self-esteem, their manager screwed them over, and they know that their manager screwed them over and they just let it happen? These are those depressed artists that end up going out on Twitter, oh, my record label's fucking me over. It's like, yeah, like you don't love yourself enough to actually get an entertainment lawyer to look over the contract and sign it before you signed it, right? Like, you know, so I think a lot of artists, man, they just have this low self-worth about themselves, and it manifests in the choices that they make, all the way down to who they decide to represent them, all the way down to who they decide to date, to have sex with, have in their inner circle. Show me your friends and I could tell you who you are. Show me your inner circle and I could show you how valuable you are. Right? Never align yourself with people that don't contribute to your cause and contribute to your goals, dreams, and desires. You know? Now, another thing I want to talk about is a lot of artists drop music and they don't have a plan, right? On this channel, with my Wealthy Musicians coaching program, all I care about is helping artists and musicians get to a 6 or 7 figure level. And so far, I've helped over 300 artists get to that point. But most artists that I meet, they don't have any direction when it comes to putting out their music. They don't have any direction when it comes to marketing. They just pretty much go to the studio. Most artists do the same 5 things, right? Find a beat, write to it, record to it, upload it on DistroKid, United Masters, CD Baby, maybe post it on social media, shoot a music video. Just keep doing that circle over and over and over until they eventually just give up. There's a lot of boats. There's a lot of boat party. I'm actually going to be doing a yacht party pretty soon, because when I look behind me, if you look down behind me, it's lit. There's just yachts and boats. So this is Brickell Bay where I'm at. And so, but underneath me, like I'm on the 40th, 50th floor or something like that, 42nd floor. And below me is like the water. So there's all these like boats. We've been twerking, people that like, and so the boats are literally like honking the horns or whatever, making a lot of noise, and people just having all these boat parties. And then on the other side of that, there's like this like 5-star hotel where just all these Lamborghinis and stuff. I think people, listen, if you need to move to Miami, I'm having all my friends and my family members move to Miami. If you hashtag the word Miami effect, man, it's real. You'll come out here and you'll literally 10x the amount of money that's in your bank account just by being in proximity, right? Just being in an environment where there's every 3 seconds there's a Ferrari, every 3 seconds you see a Lamborghini, right? Every 3 seconds you see your dream car, your dream mansions, right? And that does something to you and it motivates you. So glad I left LA. But getting back to the point, that was a little tangent. This podcast, what I'm doing right now, I don't plan on really, just talking in like direct, right? This is just a time for me to kind of late night, just kind of chill and relax. So pardon me if I go kind of left and right with my thoughts, but you can always leave and unsubscribe. But when it comes to the music marketing, like I said, most artists, they just drop music, but they don't have a plan. And you end up just wasting so much time and you end up wasting so much money. I believe the business of music is more important than the music itself. Because if you look around, you'll see so many people, so many artists. There's 400,000 songs uploaded every single day, but most of them don't have a plan. A lot of artists, when I ask them, what's your marketing plan? Like, how do you market and promote your music? You know what they tell me? Oh, I upload my music through United Masters or DistroKid or CD Baby. I promote it there. That's not called promoting. That's called uploading. Uploading is not promoting. Uploading is when you upload a record to all the DSPs like Spotify, Tidal, right? You may pay DistroKid or United Masters or CD Baby maybe a monthly fee in order for them to upload your music on all the platforms. Promotion is how you drive traffic to the things that you upload. So promotion is how do you get people to press play on the music that you uploaded. But uploading your music is not promotion. It sucks that I have to say this, but for the extremely smart people listening to me, yeah, we've gotten to that point where almost 60% of artists that I talk to don't know the difference between uploading and promoting. So I gotta explain that. It sucks I gotta explain that, but most artists don't. They think, and that's why they don't get anywhere. Because they're just they're making great music, but nobody's hearing it because they're not driving traffic to the music they uploaded. Now, here's the second problem. A lot of artists end up investing into themselves, but they're investing into the wrong things. So we have a lot of, there's scammers out here. There's fake playlists that appear real, but when they're using bots, which gets you kicked off of Spotify. There's music marketers, promotional companies that don't do shit for you, but claim they could do this, and this. There's fake music gurus that I see on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram that are growing a following who have never went platinum. They've never helped anybody go platinum, and I've never seen them anywhere in the music industry. They've never represented anybody that's major in the music industry, yet they just built the following and started giving out false information. And then I see artists actually listen to this information and do what that person said to do, and then they're wondering why they're not getting results, or they end up paying this person and then they end up losing all their money. So you have to learn how to actually market and promote your music before you hire somebody else to do it. Look at it this way. If you was going to start a brick and mortar business, if you was going to start a business, you would never hire somebody to work the cash register unless you know how to work it first. Because you wouldn't want to get robbed. You wouldn't know how to speak the language. How would you know? So the same thing with your music business. You should not hire somebody to do a job that you don't know how to do, because more than likely they're going to rob you and you'll never know it because you never did the job yourself to even know how to speak the language or micromanage. Does that make sense? So you got to have a team and you got to delegate. The problem is most artists delegate too fast. Most artists, they just want to do music. And I was like that too at the beginning stages. You just want to do music. You don't want to learn about what publishing is. You don't want to do anything that is the business side, even though it helps you get rich. But you still don't want to do it because you just love to create and you love to vibe out. But here's the thing. You have to eventually stop making music in order to make it in music. And I know that sounds like counterintuitive, and I know that sounds like backwards. But in order to make it in music, you have to stop making music, because you have to start doing music business, which is marketing, promoting, posting, learning Facebook ads, learning YouTube ads, building funnels, learning how to create merch stores, learning how to source and find merch to be able to sell to your this is part of your duty of being a artist. So before you start saying that, yo, I need a manager, yo, I need an assistant, yo, I need a marketer, yo, I need to delegate and start building a team. Building a team is the second thing that you have to do. The first thing you have to do is do every job first. That way you can lead and manage your team. If you don't know how to do any marketing and promotion, if you don't know how to do anything in your music business, you don't have the right to actually hire a team. You have to do the job, master it, and then outsource it and delegate it to somebody else. That way you can manage them the right way. Now, on the flip side, a lot of you do too much. And y'all know how to do a lot of the shit or most of the shit I said, but you can't fucking walk away and delegate. And that's ruining your life and keeping you down because you're doing too many things. Yeah, can't even get this lighted. So a lot of artists, I've been a lot of artists that's like, wait, let me get this straight. You make your own beats, you mix yourself, you master yourself, you make your own graphics. I know artists, the reason why they're not making it is because they're doing everything when they need to start delegating. They've mastered every single point, but they're getting nowhere fast. When you get to that level, you gotta delegate. What I'm saying is once you master one part, then you delegate it, and then you master the other part, and then you delegate it, and then you slowly start building a team. But a lot of artists just start making music, and then once they get confident with their music, the first thing that most artists say is, I need a manager. What? You can't get a manager if you don't have anything to manage. Like, I don't think people actually understand how management works. You can't hire somebody to manage something and you don't have anything down the pipeline. You have to get yourself hot first so people can start hitting you up for shows, so people can start hitting you up for features. Now you're getting motion. Now you can't handle all the requests. Now you need a manager to manage the requests, to manage the offers that you're being presented. If you don't have anything down the pipeline, then what the fuck is the manager gonna do? Y'all are getting managers mixed up with investors. A manager job is to manage. An investor's job is to invest. Right? So you got to know the difference. Sure, there have been managers who also play the role of investing into the talent that they manage, but that's very rare. Most managers, most high-level managers that I know, right, and I've been in the music industry successfully for over 15 years, going on 17 years, so I'm qualified to tell you, most managers are not putting their money up and doing, that's an investor's job. Most managers want work to do. They want to come in when things are lit. Everybody works that way. A lot of artists say, yo, I want a record deal, but record labels don't sign talent anymore. The game is all about numbers. Record labels don't give a shit about talent, right? If record labels gave a shit about talent, then how is it that everything on the billboards that chart sound like shit from platinum artists? Think about that. If the music industry was 100% based on talent, then how is it that everything on the Billboard charts sounds like shit, yet these motherfuckers are millionaires and platinum? It's because if you look at the modern day artists who got record deals, they already had a following first. They already had a fan base first. They were already doing the work. Record labels look at your followers, they look at engagements, they look at motion, they look at data. Record labels don't sign off of talent. They sign off of data. They sign off of numbers. So if you even if you want a record deal, you still got to put in the work. You're not going to run from this. But you can't just think that you're going to go to the studio, make a hit record, then all of a sudden get on. It doesn't work like that anymore. And it hasn't worked like that in forever. You get what I'm saying? So I'm telling you that in order to make it in the music business, you got to focus on the business. There's a time when to be making music and going all the way in. But then there's a time when to press stop on all the recording and start handling the business. That's why I call it business music. I don't call it music business. The business comes first. Why is it that Rihanna posts about her Fenty every day, but the independent artists who want to be Rihanna don't ever post about their merch every day? Why is it that Drake posts about his steak or gambling site, or he posts about his OVO clothing every single day, but then when I meet an independent artist and go on their Instagram pages, they're not selling anything. They're not turning their fans into customers. Instead, they're just always in the studio uploading music and entertaining people that follow them. Most of my students, this plane over me. I'm that high up in the air, not high like that. I don't smoke weed. I only smoke cigars and Cubans. Music doesn't make any money. That one thing that you claim that you're passionate about, which is your music, and you make good quality music, well, you started too late. You decided to get in the music industry too late. You should have got in 20 years ago when music was a CD for sale. When music was a physical item that you could touch and sell for $15 and make a $13 profit. But music is no longer something you could touch. It's free on YouTube and it's damn near free on everybody's cell phones and laptops. The days of you getting rich from music is over. I work with almost every platinum artist in the world. They will all tell you that they're multi-millionaires from merch and doing shows. The least amount of money that they make is from streams, because 1 million streams couldn't even pay your rent. So that's why I call it business music, not music business. Because let's be real. Most artists that I meet, most independent artists that I meet, they're slaves to their talent. What do I mean when I say that they're slaves to their talent? Most artists that I meet, the reason why they won't make it is because they're always in the studio recording. Yes, you can over-record. When I meet platinum artists and when I meet independent artists, the independent artists almost have like 1 million fucking songs in their laptop. When I get with a platinum artist, they don't hardly, once a platinum artist dies, they only got 1 album left that's of tracks that they can release. After that is over. Only independent artists are studio junkies. Studio junkies is still a junkie. Studio junkies don't make it. Studio junkies don't make it. So people think they're bragging when they tell me, yo, I got 500 songs recorded. I'm like, Jay-Z don't even got 500 songs recorded. You're a slave to your talent. You fell in love with you were supposed to record a few records and then after that, get straight to the business. Start creating merch around it. Start running Facebook ads to build your fan base. Start actually selling virtual tickets to your virtual listening parties and live events. You were supposed to get straight to the business. But you know what most artists do? It's almost like they're store owners who are in the back of the store creating new products. They're always recording music. But imagine a store owner always being in the back of the store creating new products. If they want to get rich, all they had to do, instead of just spending so many years in the back of the store creating new products, all they had to do was go to the front of the store and just open it and get rich. But instead, they spend their whole life creating a new product. That's how I look at artists. Oh, I got a new EP. I got a new single. I got a new album. It's like, why do you keep recording so much music? You have an addiction. You're a studio junkie. You replace the crack pipe with music. No, now you're never gonna make it because you became a junkie to the thing that you love. And you forgot to handle the business, and now you're getting too old for the game. Most artists never want to graduate the first level and get to the second level, which is getting to the bag. They're always stuck at the first level because they're addicted to creating music. Music is just a feeling. That's it. The reason why you go record music is because you feel like making music. But what you feel like doing versus what you're supposed to be doing are two separate things. Does that make sense? You go to the studio because you feel like making music. Control your feelings. Because if you don't got the business plan set up, if you don't have the marketing, if you don't have your merch store set up, then why are you making music still? If you already got one record that your friends and family said that you love, move on. Yeah, I know you want to go to the studio, but not right now. We got to go get rich. We got to go work this record so the world can hear it. Studio junkies don't make it. I don't respect studio junkies. I have more respect for a trash artist that handles their business than an artist with a God-given talent that don't do no business. Gotta keep this lit. So we gotta tighten up collectively just as artists. This studio junkie shit, man, that shit ain't cool. It's not respected in my book. Even me as a producer, when I was coming up, I probably made one beat a day. Why would I just sit in the studio making a shitload of beats? I need to go out and hustle and sell the beats. I need to go get placements. Like, nobody respects somebody who's bobbing their head to great music, but then they're broke because they don't handle their business. That makes you a talented bum. You know what I'm saying? Also, you want to make emotional investments. You don't want to make logical investments. I said that all wrong. You want to start making logical investments and not emotional investments. Because a lot of times, again, you get to the point where you're like, okay, I got a few dollars set aside. This person hit me up and said that they could do this for me, or they could get my music out there at a higher level. But then it ends up being a scam because you didn't do research on the person that's offering you a service. You didn't do any research. You didn't, have them give you any of their students as a reference in order for you to talk to them. Instead, you did emotional investment. So just because somebody offers you something, don't get shiny object syndrome. Do your research. Because there's a lot of different marketing companies that's scamming, and there's a lot of things that historically has never worked, like open mic nights. That historically has never worked. No artist has ever blew up from going to an open mic night. And the last thing I'll say is, more artists need to start using AI. If you're not using AI as an artist, you are going to get left behind. Let me repeat that again. If you're not using AI as an artist, you are going to get left behind. AI is now in the music industry, and it damn near has covered every factor of the music industry, and you should be using it. You could use AI now to mix your music. You then could use AI now to master your music, which would sound better than anything else. Some of the top music masters charge like $150. AI will master your music within literally 3 minutes. We now got Suno and different apps where AI could damn near make beats better than platinum producers. We also have AI applications that will market your music and get your music seen and heard worldwide. There's an AI app for almost damn near you can have your whole career damn near managed by AI. And you're about to start seeing that. You're about to start seeing AI record labels. We already see what Timbaland's doing with Tata. That has now spun the million people that are starting to create their own AI personas and different AI characters that they're making music behind, because that's the next wave. So if you don't keep up, you're getting left behind. If you're not growing, you're dying. You need to figure out how to use AI, because at this level right now, people are going to outwork you. It's not even going to be fair. AI is not your enemy. It's your ally. It's your assistant. But you need to use this because it's only going to boost your career in every aspect. Somebody behind me jamming to some Jamaican music. It's so funny, like the boats behind me. It's so funny to see every boat that comes behind me and just see like what kind of music they're playing. Everybody, like you get to see what like kind of character or what kind of mode they're in. There was somebody behind me and they had a boat party and they was listening to like Plies, Becky. It's just interesting to see what music of choice people decide to listen to when they're having a good time. I think that is just worth studying and looking at. I hope you guys are really enjoying these kind of like podcast style, long form, like kind of just laid back, kicking it, kind of like, style videos that I'm doing. I'm gonna start doing these more and just really giving out game and giving out value, man. I'm really here to help artists. And I feel like right now we need more. The fuck going on with my camera? We need more artists owning record labels, man. We need more artists that have a boss mentality. It's so crazy because most artists don't even know that they could just sign themselves and give themselves a 6-figure deal. That's the funny part. Most artists that I meet, they want a record label, so the record label will give them money. But they don't even have an LLC or have their own record label. As an artist, you should at least have your LLC, have your EIN, and basically build your record label's credit up to the point where you're able to get, certain credit cards and certain lines of credit, because you can literally give yourself a 6-figure deal. But like Warren Buffett says, the more you learn, the more you earn. Unfortunately, the most talented artists in the world actually hate education. Weird enough, right? And this is just from my personal experience. The most talented artists I meet, the most talented artists in the world, those are the ones that are never going to make it because they don't like to try strategies. They don't like to come up with game plans. They're not compatible to work with different team members. They're unmanageable. They're lone wolves, and they don't understand that it takes a team of wolves in order for you to get you at the top. You get what I'm saying? But they're not coachable. They hate education. You can't work with them. They're horrible partners, but yet they got talent. And so that's why you see a lot of artists that are out right now, and again, they're trash. They don't even have that much talent, but guess what? They're coachable, they're manageable. You can educate them. They'll post on social media, they'll do everything that they're supposed to do, and then they end up getting the results. And then what happens is you end up hearing them on the radio or seeing them doing big boy interviews and blowing up, and you're like, what the fuck? I know I'm way talented than this person. It's like, yeah, but they're a better human than you. You're just a better artist than them, but they're a better human than you. They're coachable. You're not. You just know how to sing and rap well. They listen to their management. they know how to hire the right people. They're always trying to market and come up with some type of campaign around their music. They're not a studio junkie. They'll make one record and then they're not scared to work it. They're not scared to put themselves out there. You don't cover any of those check marks. All you have is talent. So it takes more than talent to make it. That's why I say the most talented and artists in the world are the ones that never make it. They end up eventually dying with music that could have changed the world that nobody's ever gonna hear. And meanwhile, while they're living, they're just an artist that's the local talent that the best kept secret nobody will ever hear, living a quiet life of desperation. Don't get mad at me, I'm just the messenger. I didn't come up with the rules, but this is how it works right now. You can't update your TV and update your cell phone and update every single thing in the world that brings you entertainment. But then when it comes to the one thing that you claim you love, which is your music, when it comes to the business side, you're 20 years behind time, still passing out CDs and posting up flyers like it's 2004. I'd rather you have an old cell phone and an old TV but a new business strategy behind your music. That way you actually make it. You niggas be updating the wrong shit. I know men that will buy girls that they didn't even marry a new set of titties before they actually run a Facebook ad to their music so they could blow up. That's how backwards you niggas is sometimes, man. Crazy, but you got talent. Shit is crazy, man. So you can't claim that you're a boss if you're not doing boss shit. There's a disgusting amount of artists that walk around wanting to be viewed and revered as high-level bosses, but then when it's time to actually go do some music business, set up your merch store, when it's time to actually get your website built, when it's time to actually lead your team and start hiring the right people and doing boss shit, handling your business, all of a sudden they go from boss to bitch. Just like that. If you want to see if an artist is really a boss, talk to them about their music campaigns and their music business. You'll see that boss turn into a bitch overnight. You'll see them turn into a stripper looking for another man. Oh, I need a manager. I need this man to come sign me. I thought you was a boss. Now that I'm talking to you about your music business, all of a sudden you want to be a slave to all these other men because you're really not a boss. Deep down in your heart, you're dependent. You try to walk around and say I'm an independent boss, but you're just a dependent bitch that's talented. That's the truth about a lot of artists that I meet. So we got to get out this slave mentality, right? We got to end this shit where we're just talented slaves. Talented slave. That's how most artists are. They're just talented, slave-minded individuals. Yeah, you got talent. Yeah, you could crush it on the microphone. Yeah, you can make a hit in your sleep. But you don't even believe that you could sign yourself. You think that you're winning when you have a fucked up deal presented to you. You think that you're winning when somebody else actually wants to hand you a contract that will fuck you over. Most artists think that's a win. You see what I'm saying? It's so weird. So that's why my coaching program, Wealthy Musicians, I work directly, me and my team work directly with my students and my clients. I have artists that are in my program right now that are now platinum on the Billboard charts. I got artists that are in my program right now that are worth 6 and 7 figures. That's because in Wealthy Musicians, all we talk about is money. All we talk about is getting rich with music. I'm not here to help you make music. I'm not here to help you make your beats. I'm not here to show you how to mix and master. My program, Wealthy Musicians, my coaching program, which is why it starts at $15,000. My coaching program starts at $15,000 because if you do everything that I tell you to do, it's a guarantee that you're going to get to six figures at minimum. Because making $100,000 is only $274 you have to make a day. Majority of my students make more than that a day. Why? Because I push them to be bosses. I hold them by the hand and we create different marketing campaigns and we create different high level, medium level, low price merch, from t-shirts to hats, all the way to helping them get, $10,000 paid book shows. We help you with that business standpoint. You don't need somebody to do the work. You need to learn how to go in the field and do it for yourself and be a self-made boss. And then when it's time for you to get a record deal, you could kick your feet up and you could have a record deal that's in your favor because you're already a millionaire. Learn the game, man. Stop just doing music. Educate yourself and be a boss so you can live how you want. God gave you a talent. Put the business plan behind the talent so the world could know your name and the world could hear your music and they can see how great you really are, because you have a message that could change the world. But that message needs to be financed. And the only way that it could be financed so the world could hear it is you handling your business. Handle your business and use that money to actually pay your bills, live a high level life, take care of your family, and continue pushing your music and taking over the world. Don't think like a localist. Most of people, live in a small town. That's fine, but don't approach the music industry with a small town mind where you're just trying to take over your city. Think like a globalist. Don't think like a localist. Always try to take over the world. Fuck your city. Fuck where you're from. You're from planet Earth. Let's take that shit over. So I'll put a link in the description of this video right now. If you want to apply to actually join my program, Wealthy Musicians, I promise it'll be the best investment that you ever made. Me and my team, we could do a 45-minute consultation just to see if it's a good fit, just to kind of see where you're at, seeing where your goals are, what are your financial goals, where do you see yourself as an artist. We'll give you some free game on there regardless, but get in a room. I got a few spots left, but learn the music game, learn the music business. It's not, the music business is 90% business and it's 10% music. You need more than talent. You need to get a system to put behind your talent. That way you could grow your streams, fans, and income. So I'm gonna put a link below in the description. If you're watching this and you're a serious artist, you're ready to learn, you're ready to actually level up, you're tired of putting music out there and nobody's really hearing it, you're not getting the streams that you want, nobody's offering you any paid shows, you're not making the income that you want, you're working most of the time a bullshit job that you don't want to do, or hustling or doing something that you don't want to do to make ends meet and income, when you know you have a God-given talent that's better than everything out, then you're the type of person, if you are coachable, you're the type of person that I'm looking for. Somebody, but you gotta be coachable. If you're not coachable, don't even apply. But again, if you're serious and you're ready to level up, my coaching program, Wealthy Musicians, will help you with that, because you're gonna be working directly with me. And when I'm working with you, if you have somebody like me behind you, you're never gonna lose, because I'm not gonna allow it. So click the link below. Me and my team look forward to possibly having you into this program. And even if you don't join, keep watching these videos, like it and share it. I'm gonna be dropping a lot of more game and knowledge to help you out. I see you guys on the next episode. I'll figure out what the name of this podcast will be later. Peace out.